Back for part 2 of the museum part of Fort Gaines. This is some of the ammunition, shells, shots, mortars that they used here at the fort for their cannons, and all different types of ammunition for armament that they had. You can see old weapons, bottles, jars. Look at that huge giant knife, horseshoes, old styles, fixtures, caster shots, big giant shells, cannonballs, much more. Now this fort had so much different types of munitions for what it was used for. You can see all different types, and it's crazy to see all the different types of shells that they would have used during the 18 to 1900s when this was. This fort was used during the Battle of Mobile Bay. And as you can see, that shell right there, and all the different types of musket bullets for black powder, and the 2 old, really style rifles. Look at those. Going back to some more ammunition, let's take a shift over here. This is a 12-pound mortar on the ground. Check that out. We go to the first islanders, the first inhabitants, or the mound I visited not long ago, a couple weeks. And we look at this, the stuff they excavated on the island by that mound. Now we know why they call it the Colomet area. All the different arrowheads, stone axe heads. Tells you little facts about the islanders here if you want to pause and read, and much more. Now some of these artifacts, and here's more facts on it, go all the way back to the 8th and 9th century. What we found that has been dated. There's a huge piece of obsidian that's been found. More and more broken clay pieces. More information. And there's a reference talking to 600 to 1700 AD. And more information on the end of the culture and what happened basically around. Yeah, and fun fact, Abraham Lincoln did visit this fort at one point in time. That's why his photo is here. And here's different memorabilia from the 1800s from both the Union and the Confederate that was found at in this fort or around the fort at the current time, or donated by individuals. You can see all different types of old rifles, old door hinges, old metal, more representation of old buildings. Look at these rifles. And then you go over here to Benville himself. You see his picture right here. Benville is one of the founding fathers of Mobile, with many different artifacts that he has found. And these are replicas of Spanish doubloon coins. They are not real. Followed up next to a water clay pipe. Now, this room was very dark. Now, to keep in mind that the light I had on here was from my camera. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to see in here. And we're taking you to a 18th century kitchen. Outdoor kitchen style where they could cook food. The old brick stoves, fireplaces. Go in here, you can go to this little storage, like an old style pantry. I would imagine this would be where you could store stuff. And you come in here, and it leads to the other side. Now they got many of them like this on the outside, and it's very, very large. And the dining hall is basically right in front of us in the building in front. And we're taking you back out, going down the kitchen, just showing more of how interesting and intriguing how they did things in history. Now, they have made repairs to some of this fort, but most of it is very original, even down to some of the doors. Now they have replaced. Now here's a walk through this tunnel as I'm coming through, just to show you. They have added electricity to this place. Keep in mind they didn't have electricity back then. And to get a beautiful, breathtaking view of that tunnel, here it is right there. What do you think's behind this door? I've got it barricaded off. Maybe it's a trip to the basement. Let's go in here. I don't know what this room was used for, but this room is very, very dark and get kind of like an eerie kind of vibe. You almost had to step over the banister to get in. I wanted to take a look at it. What do you think this room was used for? It seemed like maybe there was a wall here at one point, because there was a crawl space that had a jump and you could see. But no, maybe a trap door.